politicians, many of whom are stupid and many of whom are corrupt, are allowing it to happen. We're not going to allow it any longer. Our nation has lost 1/3 of its manufacturing jobs since NAFTA, a deal signed by Bill Clinton and supported strongly by Hillary Clinton. And by the way, the single worst trade deal ever made in history, anywhere. Listen to this. Hard to believe. I've told you before, I thought this was a typographical error. We've lost 70,000 factories since China entered the World Trade Organization, WTO. Another Bill and Hillary-backed disaster, but they've been nicely paid. Look at all the money they have pouring in. $250 million, and they've been in government. Good government job. My contract includes the following. We will renegotiate NAFTA or withdraw from the deal to get a much better one for our workers and our companies. The one-way street, you know what I call it? It's a one-way highway right into Mexico. They get our jobs, they get our money, they get our plants and factories. You know what we get? Drugs and unemployment. That's what we get. We get nothing. It's a defective agreement, too. Totally defective. We will withdraw from the Trans-Pacific Partnership, another beauty. The deal Hillary Clinton called the gold standard, and then during the debate she lied. She said, I never said that. Unfortunately, at the next debate, they announced she did say it. And she also said she never was Secretary of State when they talked about the red line in the Senate. I wasn't Secretary of State then, right? Remember? I wasn't Secretary. She lied, she was. And even the so-called fact checkers, who are really crooked as hell themselves, by the way. These fact checkers, they'll check facts with me and I'm like 99% right. And they'll say, and therefore, he lied. I said, whoa. I've gone through where I said, oh, good, finally. They said, and therefore, he lied. Oh, boy, these people are bad. What a group of people we have. What a group of dishonest scum we have, I'm telling you. Hillary's Wall Street donors won, and she'd approve it. If she ever got the chance, she will approve TPP so fast, and she intends to. Tim Kaine has even left the door open to passing TPP by another name. Let's change the name. And by the way, folks, we're going to win. But regardless, don't let it happen. It's too complicated. You do one deal with another. One. Make individual deals with individual nations. Deal with the ones we want to deal with. You got to see what this thing looks like, a piece of Swiss cheese. And if they default, you send them a letter of default. And by the time that 30-day notice ends, you'll have a new deal that's even better. This deal is too complicated. It's almost 6,000 pages long. And here's the thing. All of these other countries, they've read every single word, every comma, every period, every paragraph. I'll bet we have nobody that even reads these things. Okay? And you're talking about bigger than running big companies. These are bigger deals. You can take a modest-sized trade deal. It's bigger than these big companies. And we have people that are political hacks negotiating. Not anymore. We have the greatest, I'm endorsed by some of the greatest business people in the world. We're going to use our great business people to make these deals. We will lift the restrictions on the production of American energy, which is getting clobbered with the EPA, and by the way, and with the restrictions, including shale, oil, natural gas, and clean coal. We're putting our miners back. Hillary wants to shut down American energy and put the miners out of work. She said, we want the mines and the miners out of work. That's nice. Horrible. We're going to put the miners, the steel workers, and so many of our other workers that are being clobbered by the stupidity of our government's leadership. We're going to put them back to work, and that includes the steel workers.
I had to put the phone down. Let's go, Trump train. Get out and
vote. It doesn't take a long time, folks. It's going to go fast. Additionally, on the first day, I will take the following actions to restore the rule of law. These include, I will cancel every illegal Obamacare executive order. We'll cancel all federal funding to sanctuary cities. Out. We will suspend immigration from regions comprised of radical Islamic terrorists, including the suspension of the Syrian refugee program, which is taking in thousands and thousands of people that we have no idea where they
She's
come
okay.
from. No
the
idea who
came,
they are.
They have her now.
And
She's
crooked
okay.
Hillary Clinton wants to have that increased by 550% over and above the crazy Obama numbers. Okay? Tell you what, you vote for her, you're crazy. Okay? She is the worst. Next, I'll work with Congress to introduce a series of legislative reforms, and will fight for their passage in the first 100 days of my administration act. So essentially, a middle-class family with 2 children will get about a 35% tax reduction. Isn't that nice? It's about time. The middle class in our country has been devastated. And by the way, crooked Hillary wants to raise your taxes up to the sky. She wants to raise, we're the highest tax nation in the world. She wants to raise your taxes right up to the sky. And the Offshoring Act establishes tariffs to companies from laying off their workers and relocating to other countries, which is a disaster for us. We have companies, all of these. I could name 100 if you have all day. I could name 1,000. They close. They move to Mexico or some other place. They make their product, they sell it to us. We end up with unemployment all over. We end up with no taxes. We end up with closed plants. And they make a fortune in the other countries. So here's the story, folks, and I say it, whether it's cars, air conditioning. They want to close up and put our people out of work, go someplace else, build a new plant. And you know, the friend of mine who said all that he's never seen, it's the 8th wonder of the world. He said, the plants and factories that he's building in Mexico, Donald, he's the biggest, is the 8th wonder of the world. I said, what about the United States? He goes, not so much. Nothing. It's so sad. It's so sad. So they want to build something, and they want to have their new plant,
all right,
and they want to have non-U.S. workers. That's fine. Everything's fine.
Vote.
But they're going to pay a 35% tax every time that air conditioner car comes across.
God bless you all. We love you.
And you know
Just
what?
get out
Nobody's going to move.
We need this man.
A couple of politicians said, I've never thought of that. Can't think of it. They've been working on this thing for 10 years. They never thought. So either they're taken care of or they're stupid, right? Well, both. So here's what's going to happen, though. Nobody's going to move. And if they do move, that's okay, too, because we're going to make a fortune, okay? So it's not the worst thing in the world. American Infrastructure Act. $1 trillion in public-private infrastructure investment. This includes help for projects like expanding the Orlando Sanford International Airport. You like that idea? They've been looking to do it for a long time. And illegal immigration, I have to tell you, our infrastructure, folks, is a mess. We're like a third world country. We have an infrastructure that's so bad, our roads, our highways, our schools, our tunnels, our bridges. Look at our bridges. Half of them have reports that they're in serious danger. We will build the wall, and we will impose tough, mandatory minimum prison. Remember this. Tough, mandatory minimum prison sentences for deported